Did The Young and the Restless just confirm a Philly reunion? Did The Young and the Restless just confirm a Philly reunion? The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Phil Summers, Michelle Stafford, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, aren't on the best of terms. But since they were once a thing in Genoa City, a romantic reunion is always possible. The CBS soap's Instagram handle just dropped an interesting video that may hint this is on the horizon. Wait, what? On Tuesday, January 20th, The Young and the Restless IG handle uploaded a video of Stafford and Thompson backstage, but in character. The headline on the video read, "The sound people hear when Billy and Phyllis show up together at the function." Stafford and Thompson are shown walking through a door backstage while goofing around. Stafford has both hands up in the peace sign as Thompson came through the door, shirtless, waving the shirt around with a crazy look on his face. The sound in the background was the creepy instrumental theme music to the movie Psycho. The caption of the IG read, "When Phyllis and Billy show up, you know it's going to be a party. Hashtag soap opera hashtag Datameth Philly 2.0. Could the show be hinting at a Philly reunion?" Stafford commented on the IG post with facts, and one fan replied with, "We need a Philly 2.0 with you and Jason together. Philly has a big history, but you didn't play the part when that happened." The fan added, "Would love to see you and Jason get together on the show." When Phyllis and Billy first fell in love and Phyllis cheated on Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman with his brother, no less, Red was played by actress Gina Tagnoni. As such, it would be nice to see Billy with Michelle Stafford's version of Phyllis. After all, she is the OG Phyllis. Seeing as Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope is losing patience with Billy, and Phyllis won't last that long with Kane-ashed Billy Flynn. Once Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil returns, there is a chance Billy and Phyllis could rekindle things. Would you like to see Billy and Phyllis reunite? Comment below. Tune in to the CBS Soap Daily and check out this site often for the best Young and the Restless updates, spoilers, and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Phyllis's prison downfall. Kane lets partner take blame when plot backfires. The Young and the Restless YNR spoilers hint that Phyllis Summers' Michelle Stafford could be gearing up for a prison downfall. Will Kane-ashed Billy Flynn let his partner take the blame when his plot inevitably backfires? In YNR's January 22nd episode, Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, talked about the scandalous stories they were putting out in the news. Although they had to be careful about the language used from a legal standpoint, the articles heavily implied that Kane and Phyllis committed computer fraud by accessing the Newman system with chaotic intentions. Adam and Chelsea talked about the broken laws that may have been involved, as well as Victoria Newman's Amelia Heinley FDC complaint. There's no guarantee anything can be traced, but Chelsea and Adam are convinced that Phyllis will be the one who goes down if that happens. Phyllis installed the AI program, so it'll presumably look like she was targeting Victor if she gets caught. Victor can just lie and pretend he never had a deal with Phyllis at all. Likewise, Kane could easily claim that Phyllis did everything on her own. Phyllis could become the scapegoat if this AI program mess ultimately blows up in Kane's face. Since Phyllis is the hacking expert with plenty of computer skills, she may have to take the fall alone while Kane gets off scot-free. Whatever the case, Phyllis is on top of the world right now, but she's going to take a nosedive sooner or later. Whenever a character is this arrogant, it usually means a major comeuppance is on the way. Phyllis isn't listening to any warnings when it comes to the dangerous path she's put herself on. Even Nick wants to grind Phyllis to dust for her role in this Newman takeover nightmare, so he won't be interested in helping her when things fall apart. Summer Newman, last played by Allison Lanner and Daniel Romolotti Jr. Michael Grazzi, may have to deal with some Phyllis arrest drama down the road. Will Phyllis fear she's facing prison time and regret ever partnering with Kane once he betrays her? The Young and the Restless spoilers say some terrible twists and turns are ahead for Phyllis, so stick with us for updates on any shockers to come. Why YNR's Billy and Sally never had a chance. Billy and Sally never had a chance to have a strong relationship because he keeps revisiting the past. The Young and the Restless, January 22nd, proved that Billy and Sally never had a chance. Billy's obsession with Victor Newman and Chancellor overrode his relationship with Sally. Sally warned Billy about his obsession with pursuing Chancellor, but he didn't listen. Kane's offer to Billy revealed that he's still caught up in the idea. Sally assumed that she had to save Billy from his demons. But it's Billy who's desperate to save Chancellor. Billy Abbott is a hamster on the wheel. Billy Jason Thompson is so obsessed with the past that he keeps repeating it in his mind. He wanted to take down Victor Eric Braden, but Kane Billy Flynn was the first one to pull the trigger. Now, Billy has toyed with the idea of regaining his mother's company. He doesn't appreciate that Victor ripped Chancellor from his hands. Billy wants to prove it to himself and to his mother that he can maintain his family's legacy. In his mind, he feels that he needs to protect the company. Billy made it clear in his conversation with Sally Courtney Hope that he prioritizes Chancellor over their relationship. He hasn't even given Abbott Communications a second thought. He was never concerned about Sally's feelings in the first place, which proves their relationship was doomed from the start. Sally became Billy's babysitter. Billy lied to himself. The decision was already made in his head. He wasn't going to choose Sally and their future together. Billy repeats the same pattern in all of his relationships. He goes down the same spiral. Whether it's gambling, corporate espionage, or getting revenge, Sally's playing the same familiar role that YNR viewers have seen before. She's been likened to Billy's babysitter or minder. She lost what's made her a compelling character. It's been hard to watch Sally's transition from a classic schemer to a caretaker of a man who can't even take care of himself. What's next for Sally Spectra? The passion for her fashion career is long gone. Sally switched over to interior design before getting a position at Abbott Communications. She's lost a sense of herself since being involved with Billy, and it's sad to watch. The last thing these two people needed was another relationship. Billy and Sally's partnership was built on a shared hatred for their respective exes who cheated on them. They thought they could build something bigger and better. But at what cost? Sally's about to lose it all, and she could end up losing herself, too. YNR spoilers, Thursday, January 22nd. Dire warning, medical worry, a daughter's wrath. The Young and the Restless. Spoilers, Thursday, January 22nd. Dire warning, medical worry, a daughter's wrath. The Young and the Restless. Spoilers for Thursday, January 22nd. Implies some major bombshells up ahead. Someone issues a dire warning while another has a medical worry. Plus, a daughter unleashes her wrath. What's on the horizon for Thursday? Time to find out. The Mustache's warning. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, January 22nd, hint that Victor Newman, Eric Braden, will issue a warning to none other than Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. During the Wednesday, January 21st episode, the mustache caught Jack in his own home, hugging his wife, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott. Victor will feel the disrespect seething from within and likely lash out at both Nikki and Jack during Thursday's show. However, Jackie will likely bear the brunt of yet another threat from Victor. While Victor has shifted his focus off the Abbotts in light of Newman's current crisis at the hands of Kane Ash, Billy Flynn, and Phyllis Summers' Michelle Stafford, seeing Jack hugging Nikki will cause him to explode. Read this. The Young and the Restless spoilers for heartbreaking losses. These characters suffer crushing blows. Victoria Newman's wrath. Speaking of Kane, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley will prove to her new nemesis that she is her father's daughter by hitting him where it hurts. These two pondered a romance before Kane left Genoa City, so will she poke him about their failed history? They only shared a kiss here and there, but it was enough to cause Lily Winter's crystal kill to leave him for good. Either way, it sounds like Victoria will rattle Kane, so it will be an encounter fans won't want to miss. Sharon Newman's worry. Finally, the Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday imply that Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will worry about Nick Newman's Joshua Morrow condition. Who could blame her? He left the hospital before he could properly recover. He's clearly in pain, and the stress he's had to deal with between Clark, Roger Howarth, and the drama at Newman Enterprises has been far too much. Will she take him back to the hospital? Will something terrible happen before she can? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Thursday's show? Tune in to the CBS Soap Daily and check out SOS often for the best Young and the Restless updates, spoilers, and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers Friday, January 23rd. New Dominic, Mariah's sinful scheme.
Tessa moves on.
The Young and the Restless spoilers. Friday, January 23rd. New Dominic, Mariah's sinful scheme. Tessa moves on. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Fans can expect the new Dominic Newman Abbott Winters Chancellor Ethan Ray Clark to appear. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, is putting a sick, cruel scheme in motion. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Make sure to check out our weekly Y&R spoilers here. Let's start off with Dominic. For a while, fans saw the little boy played by Rain and Riverware. However, expect to see a new Dominic, who is a little older. This time, the boy will be played by the handsome young actor Ethan Ray Clark. It seems that fans will see Dominic enjoy some family time at the park before the big kidnapping takes place. Abby Winters family time. Dominic will be at the park with Abby Winters, Melissa Ordway, and Devin Winters. Brighton Winters. While they will have a nice time together, it's just the calm before the storm. Check out what happened on yesterday's episode of The Young and the Restless. Maybe Dominic disappears while at the park. It would be easy for the parents to get distracted, even if it's just for a moment. Unfortunately, that's all it takes for a child to suddenly vanish. Mariah Copeland's sinful scheme. The Young and the Restless spoilers for tomorrow's episode reveal that we could see Mariah lurking around the park. The redhead is seeing visions of Ian Ward, Ray Wise, who keeps pushing her to some kind of plan. Whenever Ian is involved, it can't be anything good. Mariah already pushed away Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and Arya Porter Copeland, Malay, and Maddie Engel. However, now the woman keeps talking and being reminded of carrying Dominic. Recognition and trust. Of course, Dominic will recognize Mariah and won't think of her as a stranger. So, when there's no struggle and no screaming, Abby and Devin might think he just got lost at the park. However, when they still can't find him, panic will ensue. Read this. Did the Young and the Restless just confirm a Philly reunion? Tessa Porter moves on pretty quickly. Everyone will fear that Dominic has been kidnapped. However, it might take weeks before they realize Mariah is involved. Meanwhile, Tessa will continue moving on with Daniel Romalotti Jr. Michael Grazzi. However, when she finds out that Mariah has kidnapped Dominic, Tessa might be the only one who can reason with the redhead. However, by the time that happens, Tessa might already be in love with Daniel. That could set up an interesting dilemma for the singer. So stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, January 23rd, 2026? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Victoria hits Kane where it hurts and Billy makes a life-changing decision. Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. Today on The Young and the Restless, Victor orders Jack out of the house and later puts in an urgent call while Victoria gets into it with Phyllis and Kane. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At home, Billy and Sally continue bickering about him wanting to take Kane up on his offer. Billy wants it, but he has to talk to her first. Angry to have the onus put on her, Sally says she's not about to be the person to pop his bubble. If he wants Chancellor, go for it. Diane, Jack, Phyllis, Victor, Nikki mashup. Why? Young and Restless Jack is one twist away from losing everything, including Diane. Billy protests that he has to protect Chancellor in the takeover. Sally reminds him the takeover is illegal. Billy says Victor handing it to Nikki should have been illegal. They keep bickering until he asks if they're in trouble. Sally says this decision belongs to him. Hers, whatever it is, will belong to her. Billy. Sally Y&R. Victoria fights back. On the Kane train, Phyllis backs off on complaining about Billy. Kane explains they just have to yank off the bandage and take control of Newman Enterprises. Victoria appears and cedes over my dead body. Kane offers her a coffee, and they get into it. Vicky says she spoke to Lily and Maddie on speakerphone this morning and informed them both of what he's doing. Kane intones that was a bad idea. Victoria says Lily was horrified and Maddie was heartbroken. Victoria, Kane year, Lily asked her to fill in Charlie, who told her he was actually thinking about giving Kane a second chance, but not now. She thought she'd let Kane know that his big accomplishment has cost him everything. Phyllis steps in and comes at Victoria, who informs her she's filed a report with the FCC and there will be an investigation into the both of them. Phyllis is sure this will come back on the Newmans due to Arabesque. Kane says he took his loss. The logical thing would have been for them to take theirs and leave well enough alone. Victoria, Kane, Phyllis, YNR. Victoria informs Kane that he's not intimidating. She rubs it in about his kids, and Lily thinking he's pathetic. Kane argues that her father brought this on himself. He took the program and used it. Now he's paying for it. If she thinks she can use Lily and his kids to affect him, I don't care. Victoria declares that he's lost his soul. On her way out, Victoria reminds Phyllis that she never deserved Nick and had no business being a Newman. Phyllis mocks that she took over the empire without ever sitting for one Sunday dinner with them. How lucky am I? Nick's lost night. Sharon finds Nick agonizing on her couch and is surprised he's not in the guest room. He's not sure if he's been there all night. She gosses, "Are you okay?" She clucks about him being on the porch in the cold last night, and he flashes to finding the pills in his pocket. Nick, Sharon, year. They agree that yesterday was a lot but necessary. Sharon wants to take him back to the hospital. Nick agrees to go get checked out, but he needs to talk to his dad first. Sharon argues the point, but he won't budge.
Cheers.
At Society, Diane and Kyle are making calls to let people know that Jabao is back. The cheers to Victor's actions, destroying his own empire. Kyle bets he's losing his mind right now. Diane wishes they could see his face as it happens. Kyle worries Newman might not fall, but Diane's convinced it will. They debate until Diane declares that karma finally found Victor and was sent by Kane Ashp of all people. At the ranch, Victor sees Jack and Nikki hugging and intones, "What the hell is this? You get your hands off my wife." Nikki, Jack, YNR. Nikki protests that Jack came as a friend, worried about Kane's attack on Newman. Victor thinks he came to gloat. Jack argues he came to offer Nikki support because she's set to lose her company. Victor says she's not losing a damn thing and orders Abbott out. Jack skedaddles, shooting "Have the day you deserve" Victor over his shoulder. Adam and Chelsea arrive and report they've put out the suggestion that Phyllis and Kane did something illegal in the media. Nick limps in wanting an update, so they fill him in on their latest moves. Nick tells them he's called Summer about her mother. Victoria arrives and says that Phyllis couldn't care less what her daughter thinks. The family tries to coax Nick to go to the hospital, but he won't hide while their company is under being stolen. After the Newmans learn that Victoria tattled to Lily and Kane's kids, Nick asks Victor about Matt. His dad says, "That's been taken care of." Nick suggests his dad handle Kane as he handled Matt. Victor says it's crossed his mind, but he has other things to deal with first. Victor year, Billy and Sally get to thinking at a cafe. Billy sits alone going over his past conversations with Sally about wanting to start from scratch with Abbott Communications and her agreeing to join him. He then remembers his argument with Jack, who implored him to respect Sally. Billy year. On Crimson Light's patio, Sally recalls Billy telling her Dumas can take down Victor and he'll be happy watching from a safe distance. And then to him admitting he's still angry. She sigh, "I love you, Billy. I just don't know how much more I can take." The final scenes. Jack joins Diane and Kyle at Society. He went to see Nikki, and it's all true. Newman Media and Chancellor won't be spared either. Kyle grins. Jack bristles, explaining that Chancellor is a source of great pride to Nikki. Diane cons, it's a shame she has to be a victim of her husband's actions. Jack tells Diane and Kyle that Billy's been offered control of Chancellor and seemingly can't refuse. Kyle rolls his eyes and warns Victor will go ballistic. Billy will be back at the top of his hit list. Diane declares, "This is a mistake on so many levels." She can't imagine how Sally will feel about it. On Crimson Light's patio, Sally calls Audra to say how worried she is about all this Newman stuff. "I really feel like I have a lot to lose." More Matt Cohen teases Bureau's future with Dabby. On the Kane train, Phyllis wants a change of scenery to get the creative juices flowing. Billy shows up and she tells him they're not giving interviews and tries to talk Kane out of offering him a position. Billy tells Kane his answer is a resounding yes. Do we have a deal, or are you going to let her call the shots? Kane year. At the ranch, Nick asks his mother how she's doing. Nikki admits she isn't great. She feels she's letting Catherine down. Adam assures her Kane is to blame and he won't get away with it. Victoria agrees. Their dad won't give up without a fight. In the corner, Victor places an urgent call to Jill. Did the young and the